There appears to be a way that if you are willing to part with about 18,000 units, that you could get 4 rank 4 7 stars as a non-spending player. Yes, hello everybody. Welcome to a Valiant Best Buys video. This is very much kind of focused on free to play, but also represents anything that's spend orientated. And thanks to anybody that has been using the RTM creator code. I see you and I appreciate you very much. Thank you so much for doing that. And I will be covering some spenders based stuff, but to be honest, a lot of spenders are already spent. To be honest, you probably know if you're spending in game what you actually want. So I will do a video for spenders, but I kind of feel like you already kind of know what you want and you've already got it, but I will do it nevertheless. I'm still building out a spreadsheet whilst I'm recording this video. It is 11 p.m. UK time, and I probably won't get to bed until close to midnight, but I want to get this video done in any case. There's some interesting value changes from this year's deals. So these deals right here, right the way through to, and I have compared off some stuff from the Heatwave deals. And of course, as I said, just to reiterate, this video is very much focused on Valiant-based players. We're taking comparisons on the last set of deals. These deals, in my opinion, the July 4th deals, were not up to par. The deals for Cyber Weekend or Cyber Week, or this right here, the what is it called, Regal Ravagers event, is actually better. I did see like a few people complaining about the deals, but again, I just want to point out, and what you can see in this video is comparison on value. And value is important. Depreciation is important. You getting the best amount of stuff for your units is incredibly important because you invest your time and effort farming units, especially if you're free to play, and as well if you're spending money, you want to feel that they're being invested into places where you're actually seeing value back from it. And especially with prestige issues in the game, battlegrounds defenders, the extent of getting decent battlegrounds attackers, trying to be competitive is really darn difficult. So you want to feel like you're having the edge with whatever you're purchasing and you're getting value for it. Okay, so let's get right into it and have a look at some of the deals. This spreadsheet will be available at some stage over the weekend. It's taken a lot of time to work on getting information in this and data as much as possible. I appreciate those that understand that. So first of all, I'm going to begin with the deals and we're going to look a little bit deeper in game as I go through things. I should also point out that I do not recommend the Valiant Daily Bundle in game unless you are going for the solo event. That's the only caveat that I have to saying that. Because it just feels like for free-to-play players, it's a loss leader in kind of like acquisition and grab. So let's begin with this, the Valiant Advanced Summoner Bundle 1. This is where you get tier 7 basic fragments, and this is where I'm starting my kind of like assessment. So first and foremost, this is an 8,000 full in at full limit to grab 2 tier 7 basics fully formed. There's also other materials within it, and actually I recommend it as a buy. This is because further on down the line there is something which are kind of like spoiler alert right here in this bundle here, which is like one of the other kind of further bundles. You will get materials to get a 2 to 3 7-star gem. Okay, you'll get 2 tier 7 basics. Yeah, okay, we just covered that. That's kind of like 8,000 units to buy one of them. Okay, but you're not getting the tier 4 alpha. The tier 4 alpha is largely within that deal that we mentioned a moment ago, that kind of first one. So having that left over, that tier 4 alpha, is more beneficial for you to use in rank 4ing a 7-star further down the line. So I recommend this as a buy. Buying all 4, difficult because it might be something you might want to save back the units for how deep you go. If you've got small pockets of 8,000 units, you may go down this route to get 2 fully formed, and then an extra 1 you kind of grab from whatever. Okay, so that's kind of like my thoughts on that one. The deals I'm not quite sure on. Okay, this one right here in game, it's this bundle right here. I'm unsure on it, and I think that's because of the randomization around getting yourself tier 3 class alloy. If it was a selector, I think it'd be more interesting. I've put it down as an optional, but I think that's down to like what you're interested in at the moment, what you're looking to make gains on. To be honest, I probably would have put it down as an avoid, but I'm just kind of like, I'm unsure of it because I think that people might want to make gains for the prestige and also StatCast being bumped up as well. If it was a selector, probably would have recommended it a bit more. There is a tier 2 class alloy, but to be honest, a lot of the time, I don't think people are really interested in that. And something to stress, and I will point out, is be wary of next week, the Battleground Store buff, which I think a lot of people are forgetting, that could be beneficial to save you units by grabbing some different stuff and kind of focusing your attention. Therefore, save you units on, say, a deal like this and focusing on another deal. So a deal that I have put down as an avoid type deal is the bundle number 3, this one right here. The reason I put it down as an avoid is because I'm very much against RNG and crystals in game. A lot of players, even me as a non-spending Valiant player, has picked up a lot of 7 stars. Yes, okay, you could be needing a lot more and there may be a specific champion. But this being very specific is a bit kind of out there, and I just don't really recommend it overall. I know you can get it for free in a bundle, but again, I don't really recommend that because people want to rank up their 7 stars and make them stronger and be more competitive in other areas. This is still a 1,750 unit saving on July 4th deals, so I can't overly complain about it, and it is what it is, but it's not for me, right? It may be for someone else, it's just not for me and nothing that I will be recommending to it. So next up, we've got this bundle right here, which is a 2 to 3 7-star gem, but also there's 20 signatures that come with it. It's an optional. Optional in a sense of like, okay, well, do I want to like bump up my prestige? Yeah, you could look to do that. It's still, again, similar thing, 1,750 unit saving on July 4th deals. But again, this is an optional and a personal preference for this. The same thing would be for the second deal that's close to it, which is the one that has a 7-star awakening gem. Is it kind of like, is it of like super decent value? I don't know. I'm still kind of like torn on this one. With it, it's yeah. I will be honest. I'm just torn on it. I actually can't find it. I don't know why I can't find it. I thought it was in some of these deals. That was something that was on the website that I pulled into here. So maybe I'm missing it. Maybe it's like further down the line at the value. Actually, there's further on. Yes, sorry. It is here. I found it. Yeah, so this is a 7-star awakening gem. It's not a kind of generic optional. I probably even would put to avoid, but it's those 57-star signature stones that I think is just shouting a little bit better on the value. And one thing that I would stress is that there's still better value for 7-star signature stones in Cyber Weekend deals versus what were July 4th deals, the Heatwave deals. So if you are buying, you are getting better value than you did back in July or end of June, whenever those deals kind of popped in. Right, now on to one of my favorite deals that I've seen for free-to-play players or any players as well. You know, it's kind of like, it's not just about one, it's about the other and other stuff like that. So this deal right here. Why? Well, in order to get there, first and foremost, you need to spend 3,000 units, plus the 5,000 added on there, plus an additional 5,000 when you buy this means that you could be, well, first of all, it's 8,000 units for a rank 3 to 4 gem. That's massively better than July 4th deals, and that's massive, well, it's not massively better, but it's definitely better than the Acts 9.2 and 9.3 deals respectively. The crazy thing about this is that it goes a little bit further than this, and we'll kind of touch upon this on deals like further down the line with kind of the last bit, but it's still good value. As I've kind of like put right here, it is 2 rank 4 7 stars for 13,000 units if you choose to do this particular route. Yes, the StatCast relics, whatever it is, the Valiant Wave 2 StatCast, but it's all about this, the gem. The gem is the most kind of like important thing. Like, I massively rate that to grab. Yes, it's randomized, but it's getting that rank 4 7-star material that is going to be very important. Okay, on to the other deal that's to the side of it, which is this one right here. Again, I pointed it out a moment ago. I'm not going to go over it again. Is that if you want to go down this route, fine. It's 2 tier 7 basics, but a 2 to 3 gem means that you save the 4 tier 4 alpha. Or you kind of look at it like, oh, well, it's actually 8,000 units spent total, and I could have an additional 4 tier 4 alphas if I decided to buy that deal that I mentioned at the start of the video. So again, up to you if you want to go that route. I don't really recommend it, but it's an optional one because it's a different approach and it gets 2 to 3 gem. Going into the final stretch, there is some, again, interesting value that pops up here. But again, right. So it's a 2,000 unit saving on the tier 3 deals. This one in particular, which is the 2024 selector. I've got nothing against anybody that wants to get certain types of champions. And that's the biggest issue in MCOC, is trying to get the right champions to fit the mold of what you need. So you might want to pick this deal right here that allows you for a certain 2024 champion, especially if you're missing a certain champion you really want to get. I've got nothing against that. And again, that's optional. There is a saving, as we said, by about 2,000 units, 16,000 to get in total. Not too bad overall from getting it. But it does mean you have to be a bit kind of like careful on how you approach that 1,000 units kind of marker. How it's done is a bit weird, or 2,000 units. You have to really spread your spending around logically as opposed to kind of like city-like. So I'm gonna like brush past this because I want to kind of end on the decent deal. There was the like a little reliquary type deal. Also that other deal, if you wanted the 2024 select and wanted a champion like Serpent, Shathra, and other types of champions that were really decent from 2024, I got nothing against that. I really don't. This one right here, again, debatable if you want to get 7-star stat cast, improve your relics, improve your other prestige. Look, again, nothing against that. The game has changed a little bit in MCOC. So, again, personal preferences. But the deal that I want to finish off for Valiant players and for potential free-to-play and spenders as well, it's up to you, is this deal right here. Because of the acquisition method to get there, which is quite interesting. So I touched upon briefly the idea that you could go into different areas of the deal build and go, okay, well, I'll get a bit of, get a little bit of bundle 1. Oh, maybe I'll get a little bit of that and also something else, but I'll build up to, buying a couple of these bundles here. The Summoner Bundle 2 times 2. Okay, that's 10,000 units plus the 3,000 in order to get there. Okay, 13,000 units. Plus the kind of like the builder bundle here with the freebies that you could get for the tier 7 basics, plus then at that particular point of like anything else that you get on the way up there, and finally finishing off with buying yourself the 3 to 4 generic. Right, this is crazy because it could mean that for the value of potentially 18,000 units, you can pick up 4 rank 4 7-stars as a non-spending player. Now, if you've got 18,000 units, that's pretty darn impressive, considering back in July 4th deals, 22,500 units was getting you like next to nothing in comparison as a non-spending player. There we go. Right there, you see, 22,500 units was enough to get 1 rank 4 7-star. Let that sink in, my friends. So look, the value has improved a lot. Instead of it being 1 rank 4 7-star, you can now get potentially 4 for the value of that. Plus we've changed to boot for 22,500, 18,000 now. If that's the case, that's brilliant. If I've got that wrong, sorry, but I've kind of like looked over this several times. But that's what I want to leave you with on Saturday morning. I'm recording this at 11 p.m, so I'm going to go to bed in a minute and build out this spreadsheet, but also do some other videos and other coverage. Really interesting stuff. There's a lot of things to go over. I missed that Ascension thing that dropped. There's the objective for the egg. Man, a lot of things to do. Thanks very much for the support and watching and checking out that and doing the RTM code. I'm off. I'll see you later on. Bye-bye.